Welcome back to the Commerce Collective podcast brought to you by Flywheel. You've made your way to our unBoxed 2024 coverage recorded live from sunny and very hot Austin, Texas in the Amazon Ad Partners Content Studio. I am your host, Emma Irwin, as always, and for this episode, we are talking to none other than Kelly MacLean, VP Amazon DSP at Amazon Ads. Obviously, we're covering Amazon DSP, but I'll have you know that with interoperability between all of the moving parts a significant goal for Amazon Ads, we go beyond Amazon DSP as you know it here and showcase how powerful the ecosystem of Amazon DSP, Amazon Marketing Cloud, and the Amazon Publisher Cloud all are when working together, which of course will have us discussing a variety of new product launches from Amazon Ads. Goodness, talking forever here, but this is complex and I want to make sure y'all follow along. Let's get into it and start off with Kelly telling us a bit about what has evolved in her role since I last interviewed her at this event last year.
Great to be here with you, Emma. Thank you for having me. I guess from a team standpoint, we've evolved a lot, both in terms of how we've been focusing and the products we've been building and taking on. Actually, since you and I last spoke, we also brought in our sponsored display, sponsored TV, and central engineering into my team. And so it's been really fun connecting the dots with all of the engineers building for the DSP, as well as all of the businesses that are using some of our sponsored display and TV products as well. So, I think a big focus for us, as I kind of touched on a little bit today in the keynote, is just that, full funnel advertising is really the heart of what we're building and driving towards. As you know better than anyone, right? With streaming TV coming on fast and furious, and with us adding Prime Video to our already, pretty broad set of content, we're excited about how we can better connect the dots for advertisers. So I think that's been a really big focus on full funnel advertising, both from how we're building products, measuring products, as well as improving the efficiency and usability of Amazon DSP. And then the other big piece is, AI. Everyone's talking about AI. Can't get enough of AI. But we've really harnessed all of the power of AI. We've been, AI has been core to Amazon for many, many years, as well as our ad stack, but we've really been accelerating investments there as well.
Yeah, it's so exciting, especially we're doing this kind of right after that product keynote that went on this morning, and just seeing all of those product launches and the innovation, incredible. And I believe it was Paul Kotis that was up there talking about tying marketing efforts to sales outcomes. And I was like, hey, at Flywheel, that's like our tagline. We love to see it and get everyone on the same page. But before we get deeper into DSP and kind of some of the stuff from today and what has evolved over the last year, I'm dying to know what the last thing you have purchased from Amazon is.
Very good question. I'm curious what I said last year, actually, too. I think that would be really funny. No. And it was probably something that I'm going to say again, which is like pillows and, a whiteboard, because I have 3 kids and they don't love it when I travel, and our, schedules are insane. So a whiteboard, organizer, and pillows. Very exciting and edgy, I know. So yes. How about you?
I am a subscribe and save dog food person, nice. So that ordered yesterday and will show up today and get my 47-pound bag of dog food specifically for my dogs. Didn't even have to think about it.
I love it.
Yes,
cool.
Okay. Today, we are fittingly for your role talking about the Amazon DSP. We're going to talk about effective upper funnel advertising, finding new audiences, maybe even laying in some of the AMC insights and just helping elevate your Amazon DSP efficiency. And then maybe we'll even get deeper into the Amazon Publisher Cloud and some of the announcements related to that and what has kind of changed over time, because we love talking about throwing in CTV wherever we can and connecting all of that data. Might be my most ambitious interview yet, but I'm proud of what I wrote in this one, to be honest.
I love it. It's good topics. It's covering all of it.
Okay. We're going to briefly kind of cover what has changed with the DSP over the past year or so. So on this podcast, we talk about upper funnel and programmatic all the time. Flywheel has been pushing advertisers for really honing in on effective advertising strategies and not just cheap impressions that you just set and you're like, hey, whatever. Can you educate me on what has evolved within the Amazon DSP since the last time that we spoke? And you can probably tie in some of those fun and exciting product launches we heard this morning.
Sounds good. Well, I think first, as I was there's kind of 3 big themes I touched on a little bit at the beginning. One is improved ease of use. So we recognize that it's just critical, right, to be able to make it easier for traders and advertisers and partners to use our system. And so that's been a really big focus. We know there's been feedback over the last couple of years that we haven't been the easiest to use. So we really took that to heart and have used it to really drive our innovation forward. I think the second bucket is really improving interoperability across our ad tech. We're really excited with Amazon Publisher Cloud, Amazon Marketing Cloud. I'll save everyone all the acronyms. ADSP and the integrations, and we're launching Ads Data Manager that we shared. So I'll touch on that in a minute. And then the last piece is just simplified optimization with AI-driven optimization. I think the first one with the new DSP, again, we've just heard a lot of resounding feedback of, how do we make sure that you have all the features that a traditional DSP needs? And then how do you continue to make it easy to use? And so we really wanted to improve the entire campaign experience. And so we've rolled out a lot of latency improvements. We've rolled out a lot of kind of those core gaps that we may have had in the past. And we're trying to drive forward. We are launching these new insights cards, which we're really excited about. That kind of, as you talked about, how do I find the right audiences? How do I make sure I'm setting things up effectively? Are basically leveraging machine learning to provide tips, recommendations on how to quickly audit your campaign performance and make easy adjustments. And that will be in 2025 even more deeply visualized. So you'll actually be able to see the entire touch points across the customer journey. We've seen awesome feedback. We meet weekly with traders on that to get feedback. And campaign efficiency times have dramatically improved. So that's exciting. And then frequency cap controls and insights reports. So that's another area where we wanted to kind of, make sure that we had the right touch points and coverage across all of our tech so that advertisers can have the control, as well as the insights on the reporting. And we've heard really good feedback about that as well. I think interoperability is a big one, as I mentioned. And so Ads Data Manager is this, so historically you're able to upload data into Amazon DSP or AMC, but we wanted to make it easier, right? There's with our trillions of signals paired with one party data, CDPs that our partners may be using, we recognize that we could do a better job on making the interface easier, having the data integrations with some of the core, CDP partners like Salesforce and others. And so we're really excited. We've built a very seamless interface so that you can upload data once, have the permissions and controls that you might want, and then be able to use the data anywhere across our ad tech ecosystem. And then AMC custom audiences. I know you are all very big users of AMC, which is exciting to see. We're enabling that you can now upload custom audiences and enrich them with publisher signals. So if you obviously know, we launched Amazon Publisher Cloud, and we're excited to bring together Amazon Publisher Cloud with the signals that publishers have and layer on any of those publisher signals to AMC audiences. And we've seen really impressive performance to date. So I'll pause there and hold off on kind of some of the performance plus improvements and AI improvements, but I hope that gives you a little bit of a sense of some of the things we've been working on.
Yes, it sure does. You guys have been working hard.
Yes, there's lots going on, but it's all good stuff.
Let's take a moment to pause because the air conditioning in the studio turned on, which actually felt really nice.
Whew. Okay, it's a little warm in here. I think I might take my jacket off.
That's good for now. I'm going to bring us closer to something I'm pretty familiar with, which is, finding newer relevant audiences using the Amazon DSP. And so, because hey, upper funnel is all about generating awareness and helping get shoppers who probably didn't know about a brand exposed and make their way down the funnel. But not every person is worth exposing a brand to. It's maybe not worth it. That kind of ties into what is a relevant audience. But can you kind of help me understand, if I'm an advertiser and I'm looking to reach these new relevant audiences, how's the Amazon DSP going to guide me in finding these relevant audiences in today's world?
Yeah, really good question. I guess multi-prong answer, I guess. So one, certainly there's an element of campaign setup where as I shared earlier with insights cards, machine learning recommendations, we're trying to streamline and improve and make it easier to find those audiences, right? They could be saved audiences that you may have used in the past. It could be recommended audiences that you haven't used in the future. So we're trying to just make it seamless and easy from a campaign setup standpoint. I think for more of those power users, as I mentioned, right, if you want to leverage AMC, build custom audiences, use Ads Data Manager, bring in your first party audiences, right, layer on publisher signals, layer on the trillion of, Amazon buy, browse, stream signals, you can do that as well. And then you can certainly manage, all of who you're reaching and touching in, again, the frequency group insights report, which I shared earlier. we've heard really positive feedback from the Frequency Insights report. The head of activation at a leading holdco, for example, she just said that this report met and exceeded all competitive DSPs. And she felt like this Insights report in particular was the most thought through report she's actually ever seen. So we're getting great feedback. I think the last piece to kind of touch on your point is, we want to make it easy for a variety of advertisers and partners, right? Obviously some partners are very sophisticated, as you all know better than anyone, and others may be starting out or may not really know what audience they want to reach. And so Performance Plus is another area that we are really making it easy to set up an automated campaign, turn it always on, and then leverage AI in our optimization models so that we can both surface the right audiences and then make sure that our models are trained to kind of predict who is likely to want to interact with your ad. And we've seen phenomenal performance with that as well. And so that's another area. And Performance Plus Tactics actually recently just launched. And so to your question on, well, how do I know who I want to go after? These tactics are basically campaign strategies that enable you to now remarket and drive retention in addition to the prospecting tactic that we already had. So nice ways on leveraging probabilistic models to also determine, okay, well, who is likely to engage with my brand? And I think that kind of takes out a lot of the guesswork, the advertiser in setting up of like, who am I supposed to be reaching, right? Because often when you're seeing, a cluster, a targeting cluster, you think you might know who that is, but there still may be guesswork. So we're trying to take the guesswork out and make it so that you have more clarity.
Got it. You mentioned you had a line like relevancy versus addressability in your speech earlier, but I would love to have you kind of expand on that because honestly, I don't know what the difference between the two words are. So if you could kind of tie that into what we were just talking about and what you mean by that and helping advertisers reach those audiences and what the words mean.
Yes, good question. So we talked a lot about how do we want to think about Amazon DSP and what makes it powerful. We're very fortunate with all of the signals that we have, right, to be able to help marketers move through the funnel. But we talked about how we want to redefine what relevance is. Everyone in advertising's talked about, well, relevance and the right ad at the right place at the right time for many years. But we actually do think that relevance is much bigger in terms of determining all of the different pieces that go into what is an actual ad opportunity that I could deliver to a consumer. And so we launched ad relevance actually earlier this year. And this is effectively, how do we ensure that we're creating bringing together these great shopping experiences as well as the kind of user behavior that consumers are going through every single day. And so ad relevance is effectively using all of the latest in AI technology, and it's powering a lot of our Amazon ads offerings like Performance Plus and others. And it's effectively taking in all of these various different signals that are available to deliver and predict who is likely to engage. So kind of as I was talking about Performance Plus, ad relevance is really the model and the power behind that. I think relevance was just very narrowly defined in the past, right? Like what is considered relevant now? What is considered relevant to my brand? And we think there's those indicators that we all think are relevant, but then there's also this whole host of other signals, right? Or ways that people are engaging across devices, across the fragmented ecosystem. And we want to simplify that. And we think that leveraging AI is going to help us create those matches and make a more engaging experience for consumers and advertisers combined.
And on the point of like all these different touch points that consumers have, et cetera, I'd love to talk even more about AMC and layering that in there. I heard something about enhanced deals earlier. And if you could tell me any more about that. And you had also, I'm just connecting everything you've said into one thought, but you also mentioned like probabilistic models. And I know we're on this whole, we want deterministic measurement, like probabilism is great for the predictions, but I think AMC then ties in with all of this and allows us to have more deterministic measurement. That wasn't even a question, but
I love it though, Emma. You landed it.
It was all my brain.
Yes.
But can you tell me more about like enhanced deals and then layering in those AMC insights?
Yeah, absolutely. So again, I think when clean rooms kind of initially took off, everyone was starting a clean room, and we were very fortunate with our backbone with AWS in starting AMC. It was a very seamless way for all of our customers at Amazon who may be AWS customers and who are advertisers on Amazon ads to be able to connect the two. And so AMC was a natural extension, but then we recognized that, publishers didn't have the same opportunity in terms of clean room experiences. So a lot of publishers were kind of managing their own signals, or they were looking at kind of some other clean room tech. And again, given we have a great integration with our publishing partners with AWS, we started Amazon Publishing Cloud, APC. And the cool thing with that is, we've really tried to shorten the life cycle between brands and publishers, right? Yeah. They're doing deals anyhow, as you know, there's deal libraries that they've built, and we wanted to figure out how we could bring the two together. And so with APC, if there's a publisher who wants to leverage Amazon's, plethora of signals and then activate a campaign, a deal through a DSP, they can do that. At the same time, if there was a marketer who knew that they were already had established deals with a specific publisher, they can also layer on those publisher signals again now into AMC with AMC custom audiences and activate through the DSP. And so we're really excited with the performance that we've seen. Not only is it much more efficient, right, versus all of these back and forth, which often happens in spreadsheets and emails. And we're, surfacing up a lot of those deals, making it easy for marketers within the DSP, and then driving increased performance on the back end. And we've seen some pretty fantastic feedback so far.
I would love to bring in CTV because we're talking with advertisers all the time and trying to really kind of explain the value of that publisher 1P data overlaying with Amazon signals and kind of really helping with the quality of inventory that you're purchasing with CTV. But I would love for you to help the audience maybe understand how Publisher Cloud and CTV connect more deeply, just so that someone out there might be going, acronym soup, Emma.
Yes.
Please help.
Exactly. No, very good question. So, I think we obviously have a lot of CTV publishers who work with Amazon ads, and again, we wanted to really ensure that there was an easier way to help them connect with marketers that who may not be advertising on their sites today. And I think most simply, one of the powers that we've seen is there's many publishers, they have amazing signals, right? They have all of this information about who's coming to their sites. But when you layer on Amazon data to their signals, it opens up a whole new host of audiences on who may be coming to your site. So for example, you might be a CTV publisher, and then you realize that, oh, actually there's all of these pet food people who are coming to watch these specific genres of my shows. I had no idea. And then you can actually package up a pet food ad or a pet food deal, and offer it in the DSP. And then you can go and attract specific advertisers who might fit that bill. And then they will drive increased performance, right? Which is better for everybody, better for advertisers, better for publishers, better for people, because they're seeing the right ads for pet owners. And so the possibilities are really vast, and we've seen great performance so far on not only executing against those existing insights, but also providing new and interesting insights that some of these publishers may not have recognized in the past. But we're really excited. I think, CTV and full funnel and Amazon historically were not all in the same conversation, and that's completely changed, as we've talked a lot about full funnel today. And this week is, Prime Video really changed the game for us in terms of augmenting our already vast, premium publisher supply, and now just creates a really awesome moment, I think, for the industry. And then we're trying to just make it even easier as you're using all of our ad tech ecosystem and our DSP tools to figure out how to very seamlessly reach all of those same people that you may be reaching elsewhere via Amazon DSP. So we're really excited about it.
Heck yeah. And I'm thinking about just the measurability of all of these different moving pieces. And it's just so cool that Amazon is so far ahead when it comes to being able to measure just the effectiveness of all of these different things. I'm going to go into our kind of concluding questions.
Yes.
This one wasn't on the list, but you mentioned Prime Video a couple times. So I want to know, what is your favorite Prime Video show?
So I'm going to date myself because I'm about a year behind. But I love Daisy Jones and the Six. I don't know if anyone watched that show. It's still very popular, but it came out, a yearish ago. But I just finally finished it. It took me about 6 months with work and travel and kids stuff to actually finish it. But yeah, really, really fun. And we're big sports fans in my house.
Okay, my very last question. I think I asked this last year. Just what are you looking forward to the most out of the rest of Unboxed? Because we're still only halfway through day one.
I know, it's crazy. It feels longer than that.
Especially getting on the stage in the morning. It's all right.
It's been a long day. I know. It's 5 today already, but So it's fun to just bring together all of our customers and partners and, traders. And so I really love the breakout sessions and the energy. I think just the innovation that we're launching, but then the innovation, the ideas that we get from partners like yourselves and our customers is just so rewarding and exciting. So that's my favorite part, honestly, is just going into all of the different sessions and meeting with customers and hearing what they like, what they don't like, where we can do more, and all of the cool ideas that they have.
And that wraps up the first episode that we recorded live from unBoxed. Make sure you listen in to every episode we put out this week and next. It'll be like you were right here with us. Thanks again to Kelly and the Amazon Ads team, and we will see you next time.